And this is something what Arsenal, in my opinion, needs desperately. A proper sporting director who knows how to find gems, who has proper talent ID, who knows how to say no to Mikel Arteta, and he is not gonna stand for the BS Arteta is gonna try and push on him, because let's be real, if you're dealing with Simeone for 12 years, you probably are very tough as nails. You are tough as nails, you are tough as they come. And dealing with Arteta, as long as he is here, obviously, it's not gonna be piece of cake. Now, however, there is a big counter argument which I said to you I'm gonna talk to you about. I'm gonna block a screen from this for a second, but I basically today put something in the chat GPT, because I know it sounds weird, but bear with me here. Genuinely bear with me here. Because I've noticed this model in the US franchises, and I've seen this happen. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan myself for the longest time, for 20 years. I don't tweet about them as much and everything, but they did something similar when Karashinovas came in and everything. But I basically put in, tell me, do in USA the owners of sports franchises hire one of the best sporting directors and then fire the coach and find a currently high-level coach to match the general manager? And this was very interesting because Bulls did that, Lakers did that, even New York Knicks did that, Boston Celtics did that, all of them does that. And here it is. Owners prioritize, well, basically in the USA, the structure of the sports franchises, NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, MLS, is quite different from how European football is run. That is pretty much obvious. But owners prioritize the general manager or sporting director in this instance, which could be Andrea Berta in this instance. And in most cases, American sports franchises hire a strong GM or sporting director first, and that would be obviously Andrea Berta, and then allow them to make coaching decisions. Basically, not coach, but you will get what I mean in a second. The GM, the sporting director in this instance, is responsible for team building, trades, drafts, and overall strategy, which basically would be signing players, selling players, loaning players, and all this stuff. How we progress with youth promotions and everything, which we desperately need, let's be real. And then the number 2 is the interesting one. Coaches, specifically in US franchises, right? When they sign a new proper GM or sporting director in Arsenal's terms, is this. If a team underperforms, it's common for the new sporting director to fire the coach and bring in a high-level coach that aligns with their vision. The owner typically allows the sporting director to make these decisions, which means that if we sign Andrea Berta, there will be 2 options. First, Arteta might go instantly, potentially, right? Because it would be up to him, because let's be real, Arteta and Berta will clash quite a bit. Because the way I see Berta and how he has lived with side by side with Diego Simeone, I don't see Berta becoming a yes man, as pretty much every single person in Arsenal's basically club is. And on top of that, Mikel Arteta has his fingers in pretty much in every single cookie jar that Arsenal has. And Andrea Berta, in my opinion, won't stand for it. Won't stand that he overrules him and stuff like that. So basically, 2 things. Either Andrea Berta will talk to Arteta and that's going to be it. Because, let's be real, if Andrea Berta comes, you don't leave, for example, Atletico Madrid and come to Arsenal in this current state, right? If you don't have guarantees from the ownership, in this instance the Kroenkes, which means either the roles, the money, everything, the vision, or maybe even a new coach. Maybe the manager, maybe it has been promised to him, right? So there's a possibility that with his advice or his movements, Mikel Arteta could be gone instantly as soon as he comes in. Potentially, because Mikel Arteta has said, I will die before that, I will go home and everything. Maybe it starts to come in line. Or the other option is, he will be given 1 year to work with Berta in transfer window to sign the necessary players, which is strikers, wingers, forwards, midfielders, everything. They will give Mikel Arteta 1 year, and if he still doesn't win it, he's gone. That is for me the other option that could happen. The thing about this is, though, it's a big gamble, first of all, for Arsenal. Let's be real, because more sense would make if we get Berta signing instantly a new manager, because it would be fresh, it could be ideas, they could be working properly together. The other fact about this is, for me, it's very interesting when I look at if I compare this, because That's the same thing how Kroenke has won with LA Rams. They won the Super Bowl. Something similar. They hired top hired GM, top hired coach, invested in some places, did some trades, and it worked. So I think they could try and replicate to a certain extent something with Arsenal at the moment. And if this is a very common thing which you see at the moment on your screen, which happens in USA, specifically their franchises. So I think this could happen to Arsenal. So that's why I have this. Is Arteta's job in balance? I don't think so. I think he might be going sooner than actually we think if he doesn't perform. And I really hope that if Andrea Berta comes, it will shake up the whole club instantly, without shadow of a doubt, because he will have his foot down, and let's be real, he's not going to take crap from anyone. That's at least my hope in this regard. Let's just put it that way. Now, moving to third point, owners don't usually micromanage. Unlike European football, where owners can be very hands-on, like Chelsea, PSG, and stuff like that, obviously Kroenkes are not, American owners typically trust the sporting director, Andrea Berta in this instance it would be, run the sporting side while they focus on the business side, which again puts quite a bit of work on the lap of Andrea Berta, which again doesn't go hand in hand with the fact what Mikel Arteta has. Because with the 15 million a year deal, he had increased roles in every single position pretty much at Arsenal. Which means, but if we sign Andrea Berta, it means that they're gonna take some power away from Mikel Arteta, which big chance he got promised when he got the 15 million a year deal contract. Let's think about that way. And let's be real, if with Andrea Berta at the wheel, we could actually see we should prepare ourselves to being linked with players we have not been linked ever before. Because every single window is the same stories pretty much. It's Aouar, it's Benzema, it's Šeško, it's Vlahovic, it's all these guys. Basically, we have been linked 1 year, and then the next year or 2 years before, then we're linked with them again. I strongly believe that if Berta comes in, we will be linked with names we have never ever been linked before. And if I had, for example, Isak, right? We've been linked with him before, but I trust that Andrea Berta actually can get it over the line. Do I trust Edu Arteta on Nato to get that deal over the line? No, I don't. But do I trust Andrea Berta to get it over the line? Yes, I do. Let's just put it that way. And that for me is the big thing. That for me is the big thing. And here it is, how this compares to Arsenal. And that's why I really wanted to talk about this here. In American sports, if an owner decides the sporting director isn't good enough, they fire the sporting director, then hire a top-level sporting director, a better one, who picks a coach to match their philosophy. And this is a big thing for Arsenal, for example. Because Arteta just signed a deal, but Edu left. And now we are hiring a new coach, and based on how he's doing things, at least previously, I'm not too sure it will go as smoothly as people may imagine this. At least that's how I see this. So Arsenal's structure is different because owners have allowed Arteta to be both manager and have a significant transfer influence rather than having a sporting director with full control. And that is a big point. Because many controls, many enabling things that basically Kroenkes gave now Mikel Arteta with a 15 million a year deal to Mikel Arteta, if we sign Berta, will be taken away from him. Because he actually is a very capable sporting director. He's a shark, basically. And that definitely will ruffle some feathers. And I think strongly that is the big thing. If Arsenal were run like an American franchise, they would first fire Edu, which has happened, or Edu has left. They would hire a top-tier sporting director, which could be Andrea Berta, and then let the sporting director, Andrea Berta himself, determine Arteta's fate or hire a better manager. And let's be real, there are many managers who are better than Mikel Arteta, who are getting paid 2, 3, 4 times less than Mikel Arteta. Much better. There's Inzaghi, there is Simeone himself, although he gets paid quite more than Arteta, I think, right now, but in general, right? There's Inzaghi, there are quite a few of those, Nagelsmann and everything. There are quite a few of those. So there's a big possibility that if this all comes to tuition, we could see Mikel Arteta gone at the end of the season. We could see that. Let's be real. Let's not kid ourselves. And this is one of the most hard things that Gooners don't want to realize. For me, I've been Arteta out for quite a while now, and if you watch my channel long enough, you probably know where I stand with Mikel Arteta. So obviously, people don't like to hear that, but I guess it is what it is. But this is very interesting when I look at this stuff, and it's very, very weird when I think about it, that this how the franchises in USA get run, could actually happen to Arsenal this summer.